as the leading brand on SUI, I think we've got a great community. I think we're over like 50,000 now. And hopefully by the end of 2025, it's 100, 200,000.
Lofi is the #1 meme coin on the SUI blockchain.
When we were evaluating all these different chains, we really just realized that SUI was the best option. I mean, if Base and Solana, if they had a baby, you would get SUI.
Lofi is more than a meme coin. Lofi is a brand.
Being someone who's worked with a lot of big brands and companies, I wouldn't even consider us a meme coin, honestly. I think that we're more of a brand that's being built on chain.
Today, David Eisenhauer, the lead developer of Lofi, joins us to discuss what makes Lofi great, why SUI, any big upcoming partnerships, and what comes next for Lofi in 2025 and beyond, and a lot more. Make sure you watch today's whole video. Let me intro this thing. The #1 meme coin on the SUI blockchain has just been discovered. Hardly anybody that I know knows about this. David Eisenhauer, you are the project lead dev, I believe. Before we get into Lofi's strong connection with SUI leadership, the amazing partnerships that Lofi has, tell us about the meme itself. So Lofi is like a mythical Yeti symbolizing good luck and community. Is that correct? Could you tell me about the character of Lofi?
Yeah, so Lofi's a Yeti, and Yetis are a bit of a mythical creature. I guess their origin story is in Asia, in Tibet, Nepal, kind of way up in the mountains. And I think the funny thing about Yetis are that, in the US or in other places in the world, you see like, oh, did you see a Bigfoot? Well, a Yeti is very similar to that. So it's kind of this like snow monkey. And yeah, it does symbolize good fortune from what I've read and understand and talked to people about. And it's a protector of the environment. So overall, it's a good omen in certain cultures and regions around the world. And we thought it was a character, really an avatar that no one had done right. And we wanted to nail it. And so it's kind of taken life in the last 2 months here.
And there are a few big differentiators between your meme coin project and many of the projects out there today. One of them being that you have a doxed public team. Is this correct? Could you tell us about the decision to be doxed?
Yeah, definitely. And you talk about other meme coins out there, and you talk about Lofi, and I wouldn't even consider us a meme coin, honestly. I think that we're more of a brand that's being built on chain. And to do that, right, to build a global brand, you need to have some people that are forward facing, right? Like you and I are having a conversation. When I talk with the SUI co-founders, when I talk with other important people at Miston Labs, when I talk with people that are builders in SUI ecosystem, I want to be able to have kind of a face-to-face conversation or a more personal conversation. And I think that transparency it's a currency of trust. And so being able to dox myself on the project and behind the brand was an important decision. Like you said, you don't see that a lot anymore. But I have myself, my other kind of co-founder, he's the creative director. We have a marketing director. They're all doxed under the brand as well. And at the end of the day, it's really something that I think we should bring back into crypto, right? If you remember, I've been in crypto since 2016, 2017. And I remember a lot of projects had faces behind them and names behind them. And we kind of got away from that. So I do think that you can build a crypto project professionally and do it well. And just depends on whether you want to be public facing or not. And for us to build a global brand, one that makes a real impression and leaves a legacy, I think absolutely it was important for me to dox and just to show people who I am too.
Mm-hmm. And could you go a little deeper into either your background or the background of the team, and feel free to brag a little bit?
Yeah, I'll try and keep it not as braggy. I'm more of a humble guy, but I think my experience was getting into crypto in 2016, just learning, right? Like by nature and default, I'm more of a marketing and creative, and my degree and backgrounds in finance and economics. So I was like pulled into crypto. I was like, what is this? It's so new, the technology. And just after spending about a year really learning and reading and understanding, 2017, I dove in, and it was just an economy and an ecosystem like no other. Very fast paced, very vibrant, and a lot of good builders. And it kind of attracted me. So I took my passion of crypto and I combined it with my passion of marketing and building brands. And the agency that I started in 2015 had turned from kind of a small social media marketing agency into a full stack digital agency, one where we serviced blue chip clients like Microsoft and Facebook and helped launch massive campaigns for global brands. And really we did everything from SEO to paid ads to social media and ambassador management. And the takeaways from that moving into Web3 marketing were similar, but different. And I think being able to build Zero Mega and build this agency that is really more boutique and focused on the right partners in crypto. Again, looking for people in crypto that have high integrity, that are truly looking to add value to Web3 or to blockchain economies versus extract value. And I think that's always just kind of been one of my pillars in building in crypto. And I think ultimately at the end of the day, for me, having this background in marketing and being someone who's worked with a lot of big brands and companies, I found my way naturally into this part of the cycle, right? I guess you could say this part of crypto where consumers and retail, they're finding out what crypto is through Instagram posts or TikTok posts or seeing stuff on Twitter or X. And for me, it's kind of cool because it's the dawn of a new era. Consumers are getting into crypto as more retail enters the market. We're going to see, I think, a lot of value created for everyone here. And I think I want to be a part of that. I want Lofi to be a part of that too.
Let's talk about SUI. SUI is the new hot blockchain in the crypto ecosystem. Tell us why SUI.
Yeah, that's a great question. So the team, myself, we were all trying to figure out, do we launch a project? How can we build a brand on chain? Where would we do it? How would we do it? All these different things. And the first thing that we thought of was, well, if we were going to do this, which platform are we going to build on? And how does that platform make it easy for people to get on chain? Does it have a suitable blockchain that can scale globally? Is it quick? Is it efficient? Does it have good builders? Does it have, I would say, some degens? Does it have a little bit of a risk on environment? People that like to get in and explore, right? And I think you need that. You want explorers, you want pioneers, you want people to kind of push the boundaries. And so when we were evaluating all these different chains, we really just realized that SUI was the best option. I mean, I'll kind of sum it up in a couple of in 3 points. I think one, the leadership team there is amazing. They set the right culture. They have a very strong background, very technically savvy, and they're building a great blockchain. And that kind of leads me to point two, which is the technology itself, the platform is built for global scale. I believe that the framework they have behind this blockchain, I mean, technically it's this directed acyclic graph. It is built for scale. I mean, limitless in terms of what it can do. Very impressive. And we felt like this was it was suitable for us. It was a good blockchain and suitable for us to actually scale into the millions and billions of people that we envision in the future. And then the third thing about SUI was we felt like it had a high kind of talent density, right? These builders and developers and creators was very strong and rich in ideas and creativity. But on the same end of the spectrum, there's people in SUI who are kind of exploring and being pioneers for the first time, like you see in Solana, like, again, this risk on environment. So a perfect little mishmash of what we were looking for. Almost like I say this and I kind of joke, it's like if Base and Solana, if they had a baby, you would get SUI. And for me, it was exciting because it's very important. I think the blockchain that you build on or the platform that you leverage. And SUI so far has been a big winner. As you said, in 2024, it had a great year. I think after talking with the SUI co-founders, talking with people at Misten Labs, I think they're in a very good position to thrive in 2025.
And you're not just building on SUI. Is it true that you are connected with the SUI Foundation? You have their blessing as well as one of the co-founders' blessing for Lofi?
Yeah, so that's actually something that a lot of people talk about and they bring it up. To be fully transparent, no, we don't have any formal partnership with the SUI Foundation. We'd love to eventually in the future work and partner with SUI to bring value into the ecosystem. Or if a co-founder wanted to get behind Lofi, it would be awesome. I think recently you saw Adani get on a live, and he's on Spaces, and he's very bullish on communities. And so is Evan and other co-founders, and the people working at Misten Labs are too. But we haven't had any formal endorsements. Fingers crossed one day in the future, SUI Foundation and Misten Labs, they see the future in partnering with or giving opportunities to creators and communities on their chain and in their ecosystem. And I think actually so far they have. They've helped support many different communities and builders. And so whether formal or informal, I think really you want to follow the signal. You want to see how does this platform, how does this blockchain engage with and support and provide valuable feedback to, like constructive criticism to communities and builders on their chain. And I think SUI does a great job of that. So at the moment, no formal partnership with them. Maybe one day in the future, Lofi can hope and wish for that. And I think it's possible if we keep building a great brand. But yeah, aside from that, I'm friendly with the SUI co-founders. They're very personable people. They're real humans that are, I mean, they just so happen to be brilliant minds. You have Evan, who's the CEO. You have Adani, who's the CPO. Kostas, who I just recently did a space with, the chief crypto officer, brilliant mind. George as well. And then there's Sam, who is actually the founder of the Move blockchain, which is what SUI runs on. So they're all very friendly. They're encouraging. And it's nice to have people that are front facing, right? Docs builders behind a platform that are supportive and encouraging.
Yeah, I saw the SUI leadership engaging with you or the project on X, and I guess I took it as a formal blessing, but I guess it's more of an informal blessing. But let's talk about one of the reasons why Lofi is so SUI community oriented. Like I have a SUI wallet, and I noticed recently my wallet had Lofi tokens in it. Lofi is leading the way with airdrops in the SUI ecosystem. Is that correct? 500,000 in rewards to SUI play holders. That's huge. What else have you guys done?
Yeah, that was a big one. And we're going to be doing a lot of cool things here in the future with SUI Play. I think they're rolling out an amazing device. But hey, Aaron, it's great to hear that you opened up your SUI wallet and saw some Lofi in there. It sounds like you got one of the airdrops. We've done a couple, but the first one that we did was, I think it was around like 1% of our total supply that we airdropped to some members at, I think we actually airdropped the co-founders as a kind of a friendly gesture. And then many of the communities that we're building, Studio Mirai, Kage, Gumo, we did Pug Whiff. We've done many communities that we felt like were embracing and supporting what Lofi wanted to do, which is, like you said, build with the community, not build for the community. I think our mentality has always been, how can we create alongside the other builders and creators on SUI versus like, hey, let's just build this thing for people to come here. And I think it's more collaborative by nature versus just like, oh, let's launch this project and try and extract value. We absolutely don't want to do that. We want to focus on making real connections, and we want to focus on delivering on what we say we're going to do and how we're going to bring people into SUI's ecosystem. So one of the biggest ways to do that is airdrops, right? People in crypto, they love airdrops. And I think as we move here into 2025, we're also going to kind of roll out this new rewards plan to get people more involved in Lofi, to kind of figure out who the most loyal Lofi holders are, kind of sift through the brand champions. And so I don't want to say airdrops are a part of our strategy. That makes it sound a little too formal. I think it's more so we recognize that airdrops are a great way to engage and incentivize community members. And so for us, we think it's a no-brainer.
Totally. Engaging a real community is part of the strategy, I'm sure. And you guys are doing that. And another part of the strategy, this is another big differentiator with Lofi compared to everything else, I think. You guys have some big partnerships. So Wintermute, the market maker. I know a lot of coins that wish they could get in with Wintermute. FJerry, one of the biggest brands in Web2. They do numbers, Atoma Network, and more. What's your approach to partnerships through the Lofi brand?
Yeah, I'm glad you're bringing this up. So what I've told people in the past, and I think it still rings true today, is if you want to be the best, you've got to work with the best people. And that means the people that are on your team, the people that you partner with, and members in the community, right? You want to surround yourself with rich talent and bright minds and go-getters. And so the Wintermute one was kind of a no-brainer. They have, I think, a sterling reputation in the industry as a market maker. I know recently people have been trying to flood them, but it's crypto, right? People will flood anything that they don't understand. And Wintermute being kind of delta neutral and someone that opens a lot of doors, we thought was right for us. And they're also key for certain crypto projects when it comes to getting on larger platforms like a Robinhood or a Revolut. So again, we see Lofi as a global brand, and we felt like Wintermute was a very strong partner for us, one of the best in the space. And then, as you mentioned, yes, FJerry, probably the king of memes since memes were a thing. I mean, Elliot and his team at FJerry, they've been doing it before most people were born at this point. And I think it's kind of a testament to the brand that we're building. They see the vision that we want to create. They can kind of tell where we want to go, how we want to take this from just a digital brand to more physical, more of an experiential brand. And really, yes, we'll certainly scale up this partnership with them in 2025. They've already reposted some stuff, and it's great to see the feedback and the comments and everything else. But yes, with 40 million followers across all their social accounts, kind of in their network, they're a force within the meme space. And we felt like it was kind of a no-brainer for us to set something up and engage with them. And I'm glad that they, their team was so thrilled about Lofi and them. Like you said, we have a Toma Network, who's a very cool AI project. They're actually supported by some of the SUI co-founders, I think George and Kostas. We've done work with Sebek. We've done quite a bit over the last 2 months here. I mean, countless partners. We just announced another one that's actually more related to cross-chain airdrops, which is fascinating. So if people are on Solana or other ecosystems or in other ecosystems, soon we're going to be rolling out some cross-chain airdrops through this partner Polymedia. So yeah, I think partnerships are a component to building a brand, right? Nike didn't get to where it is today as a leading athletic company by staying kind of, they weren't cautious about their partnerships. They took a risk on Michael Jordan and look what it did. And so whether it's a big partner or a small partner, I think it's important to look at who are you partnering with? Are they innovative? Do they align with your vision? And we do the same for all marketing partners. And I mean, really anyone that we engage with, we want it to be kind of a win-win for everyone that's involved.
And as we're going down the list of what makes Lofi cool, another aspect of the brand is the charity work that you do. I've only seen this a few times. What's going on with the Lofi Foundation, and how did you make such a big splash in December last year in regards to charity?
Yeah, I think you sent a message about this, which was cool to see that you saw. But we raised over $100,000 in December of 2024. I think it was in like 3.5 weeks. And to me, being able to give back outside of crypto, I think is very important. You know this, but many people in crypto have been fortunate to find out about it or to explore. And there's a lot of opportunity here. And I think digitally, there's that opportunity, but there's also kind of a spillover. What the opportunities that crypto provides for you are potential opportunities that you can provide for others. And so being able to give back, have kind of a charitable arm here is something that I felt was not something we had to do, but I think something that was important for us to do. And to show other people in crypto, whether it's a single person who, maybe they hit a meme coin and made it big, or maybe it's a builder who's staking and getting rewards. Or I just spoke with someone today who actually, he takes a portion of his paycheck in crypto and donates that to people in specific countries. So I think being able to give back is definitely something we can all do a little bit more of. And that altruism it can spread like wildfire. So my hope with the Lofi Foundation is that other people notice. I'm glad you saw it. I'm sure many other people have. I think Evan engaged with it, and so did Adani, and other people at SUI and Miston have reached out and said, like, this is awesome. Keep up the good work. But ultimately for us, it wasn't about reaching a number or hitting a metric. I even told friends and family, like, hey, it doesn't really matter how much you donate if you can donate anything. It's more of just the action itself. And so in December, what we did was we partnered with Bitcoin Mandela. You may have known or kind of seen his work. He does quite a bit. He's supported Bread. I think he supported SPX. There's a few others as well, but he's kind of the go-to guy for setting up sustainable water wells in African villages and communities. And so we ended up being his largest donor for 2024. We set up 6 water wells, 5 public toilets in Nigerian villages, which is awesome for us because Nigeria is actually kind of a SUI hub. There's a very strong SUI community there, a couple of ambassadors there, people that we collaborate with. And just seeing the video itself was like truly impactful. Like, I can't even tell you how many times I watched it and was just smiling ear to ear because you're changing people's lives. And so that was a great step forward, really our first one for the Lofi Foundation. And then just before the year ended, we made another large donation to Stoked Plastic, who is a very innovative plastic recycling company. And our donation is going to take out about 2.4 million water bottles out of the ocean and out of specific ocean-bound plastic landfill. So, I mean, 2+ million water bottles not getting thrown in the ocean is a big W for me. I think for everyone, really, right? I mean, you don't want microplastics in your water or food or anything else. So, yeah, it's been a good start to the Lofi Foundation. And in 2025, we're hoping to do some big things as well. We did actually just roll out the website, which is now live. Everyone can check it out, lofifoundation.com. So if you donate, there's a little bit of a tracker on there, and it shows you how we're putting the funds to use, and you can kind of see how you stack up and compare. So I don't want to say we're gamifying it, but we're trying to be transparent with what we're doing because I think that's how crypto should be, right? Everything's on the blockchain.
Gamifying it. That's what you should do. That makes it fun. Um, Speaking about 2025, I do have a question about, your outlook for 2025, and specifically saw some possible branding synergy with Phantom Wallet. Before we get to that, did we miss anything about what makes SUI or Lofi special rather? Did we miss anything that, makes Lofi one to watch?
We covered a lot here, but I think the biggest thing I can emphasize is our community is just really, I mean, they're really avid. I think they really love the meme, the character, kind of what Lofi embodies, which is like you have this second chance. You know, Lofi's story is he thawed, he was frozen in ice, he comes back, he reawakens, he's like, what is this new world? You know, he wants to own his future and he wants to live present and mindful and just practice gratitude for every day. I mean, it's not, you don't always wake up from a millennia long thaw and say, what's going on here? So I think just that kind of mentality has been instilled into our community. And they feel, I think, grateful that there's a real project and team and again, community members that are building with people on SUI. So I would just shout out the community and say, keep up the good work. You know, whether it's you're on X joining spaces or you're commenting or you're telling friends and family. I mean, we hosted a Lofi kind of SUI mist and mixer last month in January. And it was awesome to see so many people in real life. And again, like that's something that we can do and that potentially people can enjoy because we're a docs team. And I think that was just touching for me. It was cool to see so many community members in SUI's ecosystem and people that have been in Lofi from day one come and get together. And so that's really how that's what I would say I want to emphasize is the community is truly strong and resilient and they kind of see what we're building and they bought into it. And I just want to thank them for their trust as well.
The Lofi community is large, and they're all wondering. I'll ask it. I saw Phantom Wallet, one of the most popular Solana wallets, now integrated SUI. I saw Phantom Wallet talked about able to make SUI purchases in their app. They integrated SUI. I saw Lofi featured in that post. Is there a partnership coming?
Well, that could have been good luck or good fortune. I'm not going to say which one, but I think it's really a situation where we've opened conversations with Phantom and their team. Again, they're very creative. They're builders. As you've seen recently, they've taken a brand to new heights. I think they did their kind of first public raise. And Phantom is one of the best, if not the best, wallets in Web3 and crypto. I think it's the best kind of consumer-friendly wallet. The UX UI is great. And so in our conversations with them, we basically shared, just like I have with you on this session, hey, like, here's what Lofi's about. Here's what we're thinking. You know, we're big on community. We want to do airdrops. And I think that really resonated with Phantom. And it was awesome to see that they tagged us in that post. I think as a real builder in the space, it's good to see some of your work kind of come back and shine positively and other people reached out. But yeah, Phantom is they're a Goliath. I'd say they're one of the largest companies and brands in crypto. And if we can collaborate with them more in depth in the future, we certainly will. Again, we have some good relations with them, and anything that they want to do to bring people into Phantom or into SUI, we're certainly open to it. And as the leading brand on SUI, I think we've got a great community. I think we're over like 50,000 now, and I hopefully by the end of 2025 it's 100, 200,000, and all these people are buying their Lofi on Phantom because it's a very easy to use app, very seamless wallet interface. And yeah, I mean, who doesn't love Phantom, right?
Yeah, definitely. They're great. SUI's great. Lofi's great. Lofi is a big brand. David, thank you so much for coming on today and giving the Altcoin Daily audience something to think about and to, for us to get to know the Lofi brand better. So for somebody who's not yet a part of the Lofi community, give us a call to action. What's the best way somebody could get involved?
Yeah, I think the best way is to probably number one, find us on X or join the Telegram. Ask people in the community, hey, what's it like here? Just, take an honest temperature check, right? Just I'm not saying you have to buy any Lofi, but talk to the community, get engaged. I would say watch this interview again, let it sink in. There's been a podcast episode with Jake. I've done different kind of meetups and I will say interviews, I guess, with other people in crypto.
Hangouts.
And so, yeah, hangouts. Yeah. These digital Connections are great. X spaces, right? Huge. And so my call to action would be look into those and get involved in the community, talk to people, get involved in SUI, right? Even if you don't join Lofi, check out SUI because I think SUI is building like they're building like their lives depend on it. I think really what they're building is the future of the internet that's built for global scale. So the call to action is check out Lofi, join the Telegram, join the X. And if you do those things and you're like, you know what, maybe I'm just going to stick to something that I'm more comfortable with, check out SUI because I'm comfortable that people will find their home in crypto in SUI's ecosystem. It's full of great communities like Lofi and many others.
Do more research. That's sound advice in crypto. And guys, Lofi is linked below. Check it out. David, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Aaron. Cheers.